Hello everybody and welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. Today I will be doing the Mid-Year Book Freakout Tag! That's me freaking out! I was tagged to do this by the lovely Bea from Confessions of a Pinay Bookaholic, and I'm going to leave a link down below for her blog. You guys should follow her. She is honestly one of the sweetest bloggers I know out there. So hi Bea, and thank you for tagging me. This tag just goes through a whole list of categories. You answer questions about books you read this year. So here we go. Question number 1. Best book you've read so far in 2015, and that without a doubt goes to The Royal We by Heather Cox and Jessica Morgan. I wish I could have it in my hands right now, but I lent it to my aunt, so I do not have it with me right now, but instead I spread the love and passed it along, but I don't know when I'll get it back. You can watch my review of The Royal We, just click on it over here, and yeah, woo! Number 2 is best sequel you've read so far in 2015, and my answer would be Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. And again, I don't have it in my hands because I spread the love and I lent it to my friend Sammy. So again, Invisible Book. Third question is new release that you've wanted to read but haven't. And this is going to be a lengthy list. Among the new releases that came out this year and that I have in my hands but I haven't read yet are The Cage by Megan Shepherd, Zodiac by Ramina Russell. I actually started this and then I stopped, but not because I was bored, but because I was really busy and I wanted like free time to read it. Two Queens, The Orphan Queen and the Red Queen. 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. This one is a no-brainer. I can't wait for Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I think it's Maas. The Rose Society by Marie Lu, and The Curious Tale of the In-Between by Lauren DeStefano. I'm really excited for those 3 books because not only are they sound like amazing stories and sequels, but they're also written by 3 of my favorite authors. Number 5 is biggest disappointment of the year, and this one was tricky. There were some that were just like disappointments compared to their original book, like the sequels were sophomore slumps, but as a whole I would say that my biggest disappointment was Falls the Shadow by Stephanie Gaither. I just feel like this had such a good jump off point in regards to like the plot and the world building she did, and she had the story, she just didn't take it and run with it. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Twitter account Brooding YA Hero, and this book is such an example of it's an amazing world, but let me focus on my brooding, lovesick relationship with you. And it just focused a lot on that instead of like, guys, there are clones in their world. I just feel like she didn't make the most out of the 350 pages she was given. World building wise, I don't know. But I have read a few Goodreads reviews and they were the ones who actually put this into words for me, is that it's such a great world building, great premise. She just didn't run with it. Number 6 or 5, I think we're on 6 right now, is Biggest Prize. And my choice would be Immaculate by Caitlin Detweiler. You know my feelings. If you haven't read my review on this, you can go click over here. I just really like this. It was such a sweet, nice, cute, inspiring read. And I was very surprised on its effect on me. I was like, oh, I didn't expect to get the feels, but I did. Number 7 is favorite new author, either a new author or someone who you just discovered, and my choice would be Sabaa Tahir, who wrote Ember in the Ashes. You can watch my review over here. This girl is fearless. Oh, she took a lot of risks for this first book, and just like hats off to that. Number 7, it's new fictional crush. Ooh, I sounded so girly when I said that. I don't like it. I have 2 answers for this because why not? These aren't just like characters who was like, oh, I think they're cute. These are characters that, in my opinion, right up there with Jessie, my love, and Numair, my love. And those two, if you don't know, they're like my number one fictional men ever. These two, I think, are gonna like join them, and I'll have a pretty little group of men. The first one is Matthias Halvar from Six of Crows, and I don't want to say too much about him because I am still midway through it, and I mean, he could just break my heart by the end of the book, or I don't even know, but right now I am like head over heels in love with Matthias. Second boy that I fell in love with in 2015 was Elias Viturius, because he is ripped. That's not the only reason, but he's kind, and he's the hero in YA that we need right now. We've had a lot of heroines as of late that are like, yeah, but he is like, I love him, Elias Viturius. He's tough as nails, but he's sweet, but he's hard, but he's sweet. He's one of those characters that if I ever meet him in real life, I probably would turn into a melting puddle of feels on the floor. I will call our ship Elias Salve. Number 9 is new favorite fictional character, and I went with Lois Lane from Lois Lane Fallout by Gwen Bond. Oh, Lois Lane is she is so adorable. I don't have sisters. If I ever had a sister, I'd want her to be exactly like Lois. She is just so cute, and she's badass, and she's sassy. You can watch my fangirling over here in my book review from Lois Lane Fallout, but yeah, I basically just gush over how cute and badass and sassy she is. Number 10 is book that made you cry. Now, I rarely cry in books. I could count on my hand the number of times I've cried in books. There have been no books that I've read in 2015 that have made me cry. I read a lot of sad books this year. I do have 2 books that made me cry out of joy, and I'm just gonna tell a little story. It's a little story time. Like 2 days ago, I woke up and there was a Zara paper bag in my room that I guess my mom put there, and at first I thought, I was like, oh, she got me a little present, that's cute. And then I opened it, and then these 2 babies were inside. And then I just started crying. Like, I just started crying because it wasn't a surprise. It's not like she decided to go to the bookstore and get them for me. I ordered these on Amazon, had them sent to a family friend who was coming home from the States, and I just didn't, it was one of those things where you didn't expect it to arrive that day, and when you see it, you're just taken aback by surprise, and then you just start crying, and I just started crying because I was so happy to finally have these 2 books in my hand. Like, King, I've been waiting for like 10 million years. To have this in my hand is like awkward book stroking. No words. It smells really good. But number 11, I think. Yes, it's number 11 is book that made you happy. And again, this isn't like a book with a happy plot that made me happy, but just the experience of how I got it, and that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. And this is my first ever arc, and I'm very happy. And you can watch how I got this first arc in my Leigh Bardugo recap over here. Number 12 is favorite book to film adaptation. I've only seen 2 book to film adaptations this year, and that is 50 Shades of Grey and I don't think I'm gonna choose that, and Insurgent. And I really like, this isn't like my choice by default, like just because I didn't have any other choice, but I really liked the movie. I watched with friends who didn't read the books, and I think it was a bit confusing for them, but I really liked it. Again, whenever I see Fortress on screen, I just get a bad case of the Allegiant feels, and it was no different this time. I just really enjoyed watching it, and oh man, Allegiant. It just brought us one step closer to Allegiant, which I don't think I'm ready for. Number 15 or 14 is favorite review that you've done all year. This was my first year of filming reviews. I usually just write them, and I enjoyed doing them all. I would have to say my favorite would be The Royal We, just because it was the hardest to edit, because I had like probably 10 hours, that's an exaggeration, but 10 hours of outtakes, because I just went on and on and on about the book, and if I hadn't edited them out, I would have a 20-minute review. Number 15 or 16 is most beautiful book that you bought or received this year, and I chose Gathering Darkness by Morgan Rhodes. It's book 3 of the Fallen Kingdom series. I still have not read this, but every Fallen Kingdoms book and cover is just so gorgeous. It's so, oh, look how detailed, and just, ooh, it looks like a watercolor painting. And there are so many other contenders for this category. Red Queen, I thought, had a really good cover. The Wrath and the Dawn, and this is gorgeous, because if you open it, pretty sexy lady inside. Lots of good book covers, but I just had to go with Fallen Kingdoms because I just always look forward to every cover that reveal that they have. It's just so gorgeous. Pretty. Number 16, and I think this is the last question. Books that you still need to read by the end of the year. I have a lot. I wanted to reread the Fallen Kingdom series again. I read the first 2. I haven't read the 3rd or the 4th, which is kind of, I think, like a prequel, sequel, spin-off, and it just came out, and then there's going to be a 4th one of the original series, and so I want to reread the first 2 so I can get in, like, the Fallen Kingdoms mood. I, of course, have to read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I have to read King. I want to reread Prophecy and Warrior. I want to read the Codex before the TV series comes out. I still haven't read this, and again, just to gear me up for the TV show premiere. And I mean, there's like a billion other books that I have to read. All. My answer would be all the books. That is it. I am done with my mid-year book freakout. I would like to tag Lyra from Defiantly Deviant, Kevin from Tonebound, Hazel from Stay Bookish, Diane from Oops, I Read a Book Again, and Kai from Amaterasu Reads. You guys are tagged again. There, you got the tagging powers out there. You can't take it back. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below. Follow me on all the things down there. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Cuckoo for Books. And that is it. I will see you guys next time. Bye!